Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. So yesterday's bombshell announcement about a classic MapleStory world hitting GMS had us all do a double take. Time to take a breath and really dissect that video. What concrete information did they actually drop? When can we expect to start playing? Which classes are making the cut? And what features will be there from day one? That's exactly what we're breaking down in today's video. Now keep in mind this world is still in the oven, so anything we see today could be different by the time the world actually launches. Nexon definitely seem to be playing their cards close to their chest in that preview, so let's put on our detective hats and see what exactly we can piece together. So first, some basic questions out of the way. The classic world will also be available in Europe, as MapleStory Global serves both the EU region and America, as well as a ton of other countries. For the full country list, just go to their website. That does mean though that most likely Maplers from most Asian countries won't have access to this classic world. This server will also be a permanent addition to the game and not just an event server. We assume this as Nemi, who is the lead game designer of this classic world, mentions long-term changes and adjusting the world according to player feedback, which is not something that you typically do on an event world. And since it is a separate world like the interactive and heroic worlds, you won't need to download an additional full game again. So a bit about the world itself. Classic world will be a recreation of old school MapleStory, so it's not just a one-on-one copy of a certain version. It looks like it's being built from the ground up actually. Everything is adjusted to fit modern screen sizes, and even the UI at the bottom looks slightly different. It's an observation that the classic world is actually built on top of modern MapleStory. But before we continue about the classic world, I gotta talk about something that has been a game changer for me, Awesome. You see, now that I have a 9-month-old at home, I have even less time for my dailies. So when I travel back from work, I use Awesome to quickly access my desktop at home so I can play MapleStory and complete my daily quest and monster park runs all on the go. And since the Dutch public transport has delays all the time anyway, I have plenty of time to get some work done while waiting. With Awesome, the one and all remote access tool, I can play MapleStory from my phone, and using the game mode I can customize my keyboard so I can play different classes. There's a free plan as well that you can always install, but there is also a pro and game plan, and then I'm using the game plan for that customizable keyboard. Adding more devices will give you a discount as well, by the way. And of course the usability doesn't end there. You can also use remote access to, I don't know, transfer files that you forgot to send, or even turn off your PC in case you want to save money on that electricity bill. If you're like, hey, I want to try this out myself, you can use the code appearing on the screen to get a free 7-day trial of Awesome remote game. Like before, this is only for the first 200 people, so act quickly, the code just got refreshed. Head over to the Awesome website, sign in, click on rewards, fill out the code, and then you're in. You can then easily set up your screen mirroring with your QR code, and once the trial ends, just using the app will reward you with Sunshine, which can be used to get more days of Awesome Game or Pro. Sometimes Awesome also offers discounts per plan, so make sure to keep an eye on the Awesome app or website, and definitely go there if you want to learn more about the remote software tool itself. Don't forget about the code. And now back to the Maple goodness. Class-wise, it looks like we're getting the original 4 explorers first. In this video footage that was shared, we don't see any pirate classes anywhere, and even the Nautilus is missing from the world map. But then again, a lot of maps seem to be missing. The rocky road from Pirion to Ilinia isn't showing at all, for example. And at one point in the video, we see Nemi working, and just below her tab you can see the feet of the 4 original classes, no pirates. At this current point in the development, only the first job advancement has been added, as we don't see any second or third job skills. Class-wise though, I think it would be cool if the old school Knight of Signet would return as well at one point. Those were pretty dope back then, but perhaps that would be something we can, I don't know, maybe vote on when the world actually goes live. So what about the other quality of life changes? Well, there is a lot hidden in this video. The more obvious changes are that jumping down will be present in the game, thank the Maple gods for that, and we're getting beginner skills like the snail shell skill, the basic healing skill, and the feather skill that boosts your movement speed. There also was this one guy walking around Maple Island with purple hair, which could mean we're getting more customization options at character creation, because clearly in this video everyone was dressed up for the occasion, you know. Now I know a lot of us old school Maplers are sweating about HP washing and whether that's going to make a comeback, if it's going to be pay to win, yes or no. So I was watching closely this footage of this level 25 mage, and they had 419 HP, which is actually pretty interesting, because my level 29 mage in Artil, which is also old school MapleStory, that one only had 413 HP. so lower HP, and he was higher level. So unless HP is naturally lower in Artail, or this mage has some HP scrolling gear that we don't know of, we might be looking at some changes to the HP formula for classes, which would negate this whole HP washing thing, which would be fantastic. Or again, this could be a leftover from the classic world being built on top of the modern MapleStory. Another example is this level 26 warrior with more than 2k HP, which I believe is a bit too much. Also, I noticed at one point in the video the quick slots at the bottom right are Q, W, ER and ASDF, which if I remember correctly wasn't possible in old school MapleStory. Actually, it would be great if we could customize those slots, that would be pretty sick. But the most interesting part of the video is this part. There is a lot happening here. For example, the Sin over here keeps throwing stars even though monsters are very close by. So from the looks of it, similar to Artail, if monsters are too close to archers and assassins, they will still keep throwing and shooting out their arrows and their stars, and they won't just regular attack with just a normal whack, which would be awesome. And then there's something funky going on with player 09. Look at him just tanking those Iron Hawk hits. What is that guarding animation? Did they forget to turn off their GM God mode, or did we just spot our first classic world hacker in the wild? Or is this another deliberate change that the development team is bringing to the classic experience? You can see other players taking damage, so it's definitely weird. And looking at the overall combat, for a bunch of players around level 25, I don't think I'm seeing enough misses there. Could be a sign of them tweaking the accuracy formula as well, or maybe I'm just misremembering how OP those Iron Hawks actually were back in the day. And some final things that caught my eye. This is clearly a marketing video, right? Like everything is staged, everything is set up from the way the characters dress to what's happening to them. And the characters definitely prepped with extra items. Like I definitely did not have Ilbies and Steelies when I was trading in Hanøy Centigrade 1. Also notice so everyone is called CW player and CW beginner, except for Mr. Sprite Fan 3 over here. And I really did check everything, like even Nemi here wallpaper that's using on her PC is actually a town in Groningen, which is in the Netherlands, which will hopefully mean that Dutch players won't get trade blocked like in the regular servers. Nexon, please don't. So the $1 million question, when is this classic world actually dropping? We don't have a concrete date yet, but we do know that it won't be anytime soon. Nexon promised to reveal more details in the second half of 2025, and the official server announcement won't be happening until their offline event, which will be held at the end of October this year. And those are all the juicy bits I could squeeze out of that video that might give us a sneak peek into what we can expect from the classic world coming to MapleStory Global. What are you hoping they add or change? Let everyone know in the comments. I just hope we can get some old school bandanas, man, that'd be pretty sick. And just as a final reminder, things are still in early development, so what we're seeing today could be very different by the time the official announcement drops. Thank you all so much for tuning in on this glorious day, and as always, a massive thanks to our incredible channel members for their amazing support. Special thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar, Maar, Waar, Sebastian Hanøy, Caudimorda, Wiley, BackSpaceOTI, Ziggy, Flidiot, Knivesu, Cloudfix, Michael, Menchaca, Raythius, Betrayal1489, Sylvio, Neto, StrikerElk, Ryaiser, Aryu, PCGAMELIFE, The Passenger, maxBurnHeart, ScottyFlysFast, Only, Lordvasile, Spudsy, Dantevictory, SnafuPop, Quinn, Dewey Tran, Vake Botnet, Megu, The Wolf Drake, Matinu Dev, Groggo, GabrielEk, Knivesu, Max Mink, and Kirch-nehammer. Thank you so much for watching, stay safe and happy mapling!